Bring your attention to the seat that you're sitting on. To your physical body resting into the physicality of your chair. And experience for yourself that no matter how much you relax, no matter how much you let down, the chair supports you. So you can trust the chair. You can trust the ground beneath the chair. And you can feel this unending support that is right here beneath your physical body every moment. So let's begin with the simplicity of that. I allow my physical body to rest into the physicality of the earth through the structure of my home and the structure of the seat that I'm sitting on. I feel that body to earth contact through my skin, through the pressure of the weight of my body resting into gravity. I experience that for myself. Not as a thought, but as a felt sense. And the more that my body registers this support through my own direct experience, the more that it seems to let go. My body can safely let go and perpetually be held by the mass of the earth beneath it. And I'm experiencing that. I feel my body getting heavier. I feel this kind of trickling down, like sand settling in water, sediment settling in water. The lower half of my body becomes fuller. More ample. And when my body settles in this way and becomes more connected and united with the earth, I get to experience qualities that are being transmitted from the earth. I get to experience stillness. I get to experience this sense of holding and nurturing, like a baby in its mother's arms. And simultaneously, I can also feel the space around me. So the solid earth beneath me holds me. And there's also infinite space all around me, above my head, in front of me, behind me, and in all directions. And when I inhale, I breathe into that space. And through the edges of my skin, touching up against this infinite space, I feel the qualities that are available to me. Through sky, through space. I feel infinite possibilities. I feel the glory of what is. I feel unseen forces that are impacting my every moment. I feel freedom. I feel bigger than my body. And I feel my true spiritual nature. And with each inhale, I expand and I reach into this vast space all around me. I open to it. I become more porous to it. And with each exhale, I rest into Mother Earth. And I feel a kind of simplicity of being. I am made of sky and earth. We are revisiting and deepening our relationship with our true mother and our true father, earth and heaven. Not as a concept, but through our own felt experience. And in the midst of all of this, the breath is moving. So let's bring our awareness to breath. And let's meet it just as it is. How is it moving in this moment? What does it feel like? How does breath register in your body? And let's practice getting out of the way so that we can experience our moment raw, without any add-ons. I'm experiencing my breath just as it is, without adding any evaluation, without needing to come in and change it so that it's bigger or smoother or less restricted. I'm experiencing my breath just as it is. I'm willing to suspend any doubts that things are exactly as they are, and that's perfect. And I start with something very simple like the breath. My breath is as it is. And the truth is I don't know if it needs to be any different than it is. And when we let go of micromanaging the breath and we stay with it long enough, we experience for ourselves that it begins to shift and change all on its own. And so we become the watcher of the breath, the watcher of breath dancing. the watcher of breath, being free, being allowed to be itself. And perhaps we begin to see that there's some kind of intelligence here that we weren't aware of. That we jump in so quickly with the one that thinks it knows better. We don't give the body a chance to show us that when left to its own devices, it finds its way. It shifts, it changes, and things are constantly moving all on their own. And if we can learn this with breath, we can learn this with everything else in our lives. For today, we're just here with our breath. We're noticing ever new details. The longer we stay with the breath, the more the magnification expands, and we begin to see new details. And we don't engage with any questioning of those details. We just include the new details. Maybe we notice a new tension, or we notice a sigh. As more and more details become revealed, which is really what meditation will do, is it, as we drop into our being, awareness is going to show us more and more details. And the only question continues to be, can you allow this to be as it is also? So the breath may be revealing to you certain tensions in your body that you don't like, that maybe even you've called a problem, something that needs to be fixed, something that you need to find a solution to, something that creates frustration. And that's okay. Those are the stories attached to the sensations. But as you touch into these physical sensations, beyond the in and the out of the breath, the only question is, can you allow this to be as it is as well? As you continue to exhale into the earth and inhale into the space around you, there's an inclusion. There already is an inclusion of all the physical sensations that show up. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. It's only the mind that has a problem with the various details that show up in our moments. If we don't add to the sensations, all we know is that there's a sensation here. There's no added label of it's good, it's bad, it needs to be fixed. There's just a sensation here. And how do we know that this sensation isn't absolutely part of our perfect moment? Isn't what was meant to come up in this moment, was meant to be open to be received, to be acknowledged. Anytime we sit quietly those things in our beings which have been suppressed or ignored or avoided will come to the surface. And that's what makes meditation challenging, because we expect that we'll sit down, we'll close our eyes, and that we'll be quiet and peaceful. But usually, actually, the opposite happens in some ways. That everything that has been ignored or suppressed or avoided, not only today, but for our whole life, will rise up into this gorgeous field of awareness. All these things ever wanted was to be acknowledged, to be set free within awareness. And so various details will pour forth, perhaps. And the only question is, can you allow this to be as it is as well? Can you give this detail the benefit of the doubt? And yes, it's uncomfortable sometimes. And yes, there are very ingrained habits at fighting with these things. And that's okay.